Hello readers, I'm Amy and I'm your nonfiction feminist. Today I'm coming to you with the Unpopular Opinions tag by a book archer. I will tag her original video down below. I've always wanted to do this tag. I have several unpopular opinions that I would love to talk with you all about. This is probably my favorite tag of all time. Like, unpopular opinions are some of the most interesting videos and some of the most interesting material to me, and I don't think I'm the only one to think so. Also, forgive me if I sound a little bit funny in this video. I have been sick for the last couple days. My voice is not at its best, not that my audio is usually at its best, granted. I am not feeling so hot. We will see how this goes. Our first question is an unpopular book or series you did not like. Hey, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with The Shining. I think a lot of people are gonna come after me for this one. Hear me out. This is the first Stephen King book that I ever tried to read. I don't think it was the best book to start off on, and I am willing to try it again in the future. However, this book, granted, I only got like halfway through it, but that's just it. I read half of this book and nothing happened. Nothing happened. It's all character development. And while I enjoy some good character development, I am someone who loves to see character development through the plot. I want to see how the story changes the characters, how it affects the characters. I don't want all of my character development in the first half of the book with nothing happening. And that's what happened with this book for me, is that nothing happens in the first half of the book, and I was bored. Again, I'm willing to try this again in the future, but as it stands, this is a book I didn't like. Sorry, not sorry. It's an unpopular opinions tag. What are you gonna do? Second question, a popular book series everyone seems to hate but you love. So the book that I have for this has taken quite a turnaround in the last few years or so. Gillian Flynn, in high school, she was like the author to read. I saw everyone reading this book. I didn't really get a chance to read it until college, but Gillian Flynn was so popular. She was amazing. She was the book to read, the author to read, the author to watch. And lately, I am seeing a lot of Gillian Flynn hate. Like, everyone says that these books are boring. I don't think so. I think these books are amazing. Again, it's your opinion. If you don't like Gillian Flynn, you don't like Gillian Flynn. There's nothing that I can do to change your opinion on that. But I loved these books. Dark Places is actually my favorite book. But I thoroughly enjoyed Gone Girl and Sharp Objects. I think Gillian Flynn is an amazing author. I have not read her, Grown Ups? Short stories, novella? I haven't read that one yet. I'm hoping to soon, but I own all three of her bigger books. I love them. I'm probably going to reread all of them this year. I actually already reread Dark Places end of last year, I think. I don't know. I can reread it again. I can't get enough of her. I think she's amazing. But maybe that's just me now. I don't know. Next question. A love triangle where the main character ended up with a person you did not want them to end up with, or an OTP you did not like. I'm just gonna have to go with the pretty typical answers here. Hunger Games, Harry Potter, like... My thing isn't so much that they ended up with someone that I didn't want them to. I mean, they did. But in general, why do they all have to end up with people? Why can you not end a series with no pairing of the main characters? What is so bad about being single? What is so bad about not having kids? What's so bad about not getting married? Can we change the stories up a little here to fit our current society, please? Next question, a popular book genre you hardly reach for. There are a lot that I can talk about for this, but I'm gonna go ahead with graphic novels. I don't know that I have a particular reason. I don't really have a good reason to not read them. I just don't read them. I guess I would say my idea of a graphic novel, and I know this is not, like, this is wrong, really. It's very specific and stereotypical, but my idea of a graphic novel is anime And I was never one for anime. I don't particularly like the anime art style. I wasn't into the Japanese cartoons as a kid. I didn't read the anime graphic novels that much. I read a couple with my friends. It's like, okay. I don't read graphic novels. It's not my thing. It's not my genre. It's not what I reach for. I don't know. If you have some you'd like to recommend, I mean, I'm willing to check them out. I can't promise I'm going to read them, but... Our next question is a popular or beloved character you don't like. I'm gonna have to go with Kvoth from Name of the Wind. I love the Name of the Wind books. I think Patrick Rothfuss did a really amazing job, but Kvoth has an ego. Just like, yes, Kvoth is very talented and amazing and all of that, but like, dude, you gotta be humble. You just bring it down a little bit. Like, you still have a long way to go. You still have a lot to learn. Don't get a big head about everything. It's not a good look on you. I don't really like him as a character. Like, he has a reason for having a big ego, but just like, bring it down, dude. And then a popular author that I can't seem to get into, Agatha Christie. I read And Then There Were None, and the mystery was good. The mystery, the story was really, really good. But her writing, I can't. It's so dry and robotic and just, oof. Writing style will make or break a book for me. It can be the worst story, the worst character building, the worst plot, whatever, but if the writing is really top notch, I will probably read it. If you have the best character development, the best plot, the best what have you, and it has crappy writing, I'm not gonna read it. The writing style can make or break a book for me, and Agatha Christie just does not have it. I hate her writing so much. Just, it's lacking personality and style, and it just, can't do it. A popular book trope that I'm tired of seeing, I've noticed most people say love triangle for this one, which I do detest love triangles. But everyone says love triangles, so I'm starting to think that's not actually a very unpopular opinion. I think most people hate love triangles at this point. But I'm going to go with a very genre-specific one and say detectives. In mysteries, thrillers, the detective not only is almost always male, but he always has a failing or failed previous relationship. He's got the angry ex-wife. He's always very haunted. Like, what is up with this? Can we not have a, like, happy relationship detective who's not haunted and just wants to be in it to help people and solve the mysteries? Why do we have to have all these grim detectives? Like, why are detectives such unhappy characters? Where did this idea come from? I don't know. Change it up a little. Always change it up a little. It'll make your books more interesting. It'll make your books stand out from all the other ones out there. A popular series that I have no interest in reading. There are quite a few I could do for this, but I'm gonna go with one that you guys are not gonna like. Outlander. I realize that the Great American Reads ended up putting it as like the second most popular set of books ever in the world, next to Kill a Mockingbird, and that's fine, good for Outlander. But my reasons for not wanting to read Outlander are perfectly valid. I have good reasons, and I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. This is unpopular opinions. I'm not sorry. I'm not gonna read Outlander. For one thing, I am not into series, particularly big series. If it's like a trilogy, okay. But if you have 5+ books outside of Harry Potter, I don't read big series. I just think of how many different standalones and different authors and stories I could explore in the time it would take me to read a book series that has, like, how many books? 8, 14, what have you. This is also why I don't read a lot of fantasy. How many books does Outlander even have right now? Like 8, 9? I don't know. Also, time travel. I don't like time travel. It's complicated. Everyone does it differently. I'm never really happy with the way a time travel story ends. So, not into the time travel thing. Romance, I don't read romance. I don't really care about romance. I haven't read romance since I was a teenager and going through puberty and having crushes and stuff. Romance is not my genre. So, there's another reason that I wouldn't want to read this. Also, love triangles. For as much as BookTube actually generally seems to hate love triangles, this seems like a pretty big love triangle and a pretty popular series, which is interesting. But yeah, love triangle, time travel, huge series. I'm not going to read it, and there is nothing you can say to convince me otherwise. Just not going to happen. It's just not. So the saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what book do I think had a better adaptation with films or movies? I have a couple of answers for this one, but I'm gonna go with one of my most recent reads, Girl Interrupted. I read it for Mental Health-a-thon. Girl Interrupted is a pretty short memoir about a woman with borderline personality disorder. She ends up in a treatment center. And the book did not leave an impression on me whatsoever. There's very little story. She doesn't really focus on her treatment, which is a huge part of treatment, to focus on your own treatment. We don't really know too much about how she got there. We don't see her progress with her bipolar. It's more like stories about how these people interact with one another in treatment. I'm finding the most well-known mental health memoirs make pretty good movies, but are pretty, meh, book-wise. The movie, it was great. Girl Interrupted was a great movie. The book, not worth my time. So that is the Unpopular Opinions book tag. Let me know your opinions down below. What are some of your unpopular opinions? What do you think of my choices for these questions? I hope to have several more unpopular opinions coming to you sometime in the future, eventually. I love unpopular opinions. I will always have them. I will always tell them to you. They're fun.